Alright, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games. Let me check this out real quick. Scope that. No, we Gucci. We Gucci. Alright, so today I got another builder board, and then we're going to move on to a couple breaker boards. I had more builder boards than breaker boards initially, because there's a lot more people wanting to see decks in action than them seeing boards being broken. Like, seeing the decks do what, we say they do in profiles and all that good stuff. So I'm going to do a funky combo first, and then we'll do some traditional stuff. Then we'll do test hands. But the purpose of Builder Board Workshop is to show you guys how these decks function when you draw the adequate cards, the correct cards. And of course, test hands will show how it functions when it does draw a brick hand, because sometimes test hands are bricky. That's just how it is. But I'm gonna show you guys a really cool combo that I actually came up with myself. And what I did was I picked cards out of my deck and interacted with them and played them in different chronological orders and produced different boards and different results. And this was one of the hands I picked myself and played it, and it had like 4 different outcomes. But the outcome I'm going to show you is my favorite one. Some people may not feel it's the best outcome, but it's just my personal favorite. So the final card, we got this, we got that, we got that, we got Expedition. I'm trying to remember the last card that it was, because that's going to get added, that's going to get sent. I think that was, oh yeah, it was Sanctuary. There we go. So let's start with this Builder Board Workshop. So the first thing we're going to do is special Photon Thrasher, because we control no monsters. Then we're going to activate Dragon Shrine. And this is a cool little combo. Dragon Shrine's at 3 in this deck list. It's actually really good, facilitating different boards. Producing versatile combos as well, being like, it doesn't just do one thing. It has a multi-purpose, and there's a lot of valid targets that can serve different functions based on, basically the composition of your hand determines how good the Dragon Shrine can be. But I will say this, no matter how good or bad the hand is, Dragon Shrine's always good. Because every hand can make Soul Flare. Every hand. So minimalistically, you can just dump Galaxy Eyes, make Soul Flare, add it back, and that's an interruption. So like, that's the worst case scenario for Dragon Shrine, that it's just going to be a Dryden. And Dryden's banned, so Dragon Shrine. Let's go ahead and Special Vanisher. Use his effect to search Galaxy Eyes. Let's go ahead and activate Sanctuary. Summon 2 Photon tokens. Link them both off in Soul Flare. And then use Soul Flare to target the lizard that we added to that we sent off Dragon Shrine. I know this card's weird, and that's how you guys are gonna know that this is my combo itself. Like, I didn't get this from anywhere, like, because it's playing this weird card that people don't like. Like, nobody plays this, like, I promise you. People don't like this card. Like, everybody doesn't like it because it needs like a normal summon. And even if you don't normally, it just has to be on field for it to be good. And the problem with that is, like, it doesn't special summon itself. None of your extenders really work on it that well until, we got rank 4 recently, which, hold on, baby, I got you after the video, okay? So this rank 4 right here is Blast. This is what changed everything, where I feel like Lizard's viable now, just because this card enables that play. Because this is all being done without a normal summon yet, so we've got all these monsters on field instead of a normal. So we're going to overlay the Blast. We're going to do Master Roll 5, actually. That's even easier, because you guys get to really see this deck pop off, so we're not going to summon any of his zones. This is new revised Master Rule, because that's the era I'm going to play this deck in, where it can be in its full potential. I don't like it being restricted under Master Rule 4 right now. Even though it's good, and I have topped with this deck with, the link mechanic, it's just I want to play it at its full potential, so I'm waiting. So we're going to do Master Rule 5 for this. So Tribute Photon Lizard. So his ability, you can tribute this card to add 1 level 4 or lower Photon monster from your deck to your hand. So like Wizard and Soldier only search Galaxy cards, but like Orbital searches anything, right? Photon or Galaxy. Lizard is specific to, the Photons. Like, that's what's cool about this deck, is each sub-archetype, the Photon and the Galaxy, can exist on their own. And you can play a full Photon deck or play a full Galaxy deck, even if it's weird. There's certain cards that are interchangeable that just have to be there, because they're both Photon and Galaxy, like the Big Dragon himself, but it's cool that each sub-archetype has their own searchers. Like, Photon has their searchers being like Vanisher and like Lizard and Orbital, and then Galaxy has their searchers being like Wizard and Soldier, and you got good starters like Expedition, and just like this deck has like a ton of good cards. Like, just a lot of really, really good cards. That's all I'll say. So Special Lizard, tribute him off. Depending on your hand, like, let's say you had Orbital in your hand, even though I picked this hand myself, if you already had Orbital, you would want to search Advancer, because it's an extender that you haven't summoned yet. Remember, Thrasher, obviously, you can only summon once, because you can only control no monsters one time in your turn. Vanisher, you can only summon once. This can only be summoned once. This hard once a turn, so you're just gonna get whatever you haven't used, but because we haven't used Orbital and he's the best one, the best target to search off Lizard, we're gonna search Orbital off Lizard. Equip Orbital to Soul Flare or, Blast. Let's equip it to Blast, so, just because. And then use this effect to search for Galaxy Soldier. And as I was playing this hand before I showed you guys this, I didn't realize I could make this board, because remember I told you there's like 4 different outcomes, and this one is just my favorite one, because these two could have been isoled, these two could have been another Soul Flare, it could have been also, any generic light attribute rank 4, like because of Sanctuary you can only summon lights and stuff like that, but I like it. But what I'm showing you the inboard is my favorite one off of when I was making this combo myself. So we searched this off of the Orbital, and now we're going to activate Soldier by discarding Galaxy Eyes, special him, and then we're going to activate his effect to add a Galaxy. And what we're going to do is we're going to add Galaxy Knight. Excuse me. We're going to activate Expedition because we have a valid target now on field. Special another copy of Soldier. Let's overlay these 2 soldiers. Remember, Master Rule 5. I mean, we could, just do this and it would be cool, but if we're under Master Rule 4 currently, we can't take this any further because our zones are gone. So what we would have to do is link these 2 off into a Soul Flare again, just to normal this and then get out that interruption. But we still like this protection as well. So that's why I said these combos are going to be more powerful, and this deck's just going to be stronger with the new revised Master Rule where, links are still restricting pendulums, but every other mechanic is free reign, is along with XYZ. So Knight's going to target. And remember, we did all this and still had not normal summoned to the end. So this deck can go off a lot of the times without normal summoning. But when I say the normal summon is imperative, it's because normally this deck's normal summon is an interruption by itself. Like Galaxy Wizard can be a rank 8 by itself. Knight can be a rank 8. So it's like, even though the normal summon isn't necessary for, like, you can't play without it, it's so important because it being stopped is like 1 less negate. Literally, like, Knight is an interruption by itself and along with Wizard, because it could just search Trance. Trance is a 1 card, Hope Harbinger, or Lord, so just again. That's why the normal summon is so important in Galaxy Eyes. So you normally want to either save it for last or do it in between, but you don't want to, like, start up. The only good normal summon I'd say to start up with is, like, Wizard. Sometimes I start my plays by, like, normal summoning Photon Lizard because my hand's weird. Then I'll, like, special Vanisher, search, tribute him off, get Orbital, and then equip Orbital to the Vanisher, sack that off for Galaxy Soldier, and do that. Sometimes I have to literally normal summon Photon Lizard, so it's like, but still, no matter what, the normal summon is just that important. So now we're going to finish off the combo with a Lord. Every board you make in Galaxy Eyes should always have Lord, because you want your cards to replace themselves as much as possible. As you're building these boards, because if you notice, we use a lot of our searchers, a lot of our extenders. So basically what we're doing is we're putting cards onto the field that accumulate hand advantage or build up my card economy as I'm progressing my game state and establishing a board. So it's kind of like, think of it like how Gokis, every time you link off with a Goki, they search a Goki card. So that's kind of like, it's like not an algorithm, but it's like a mathematical approach where you want each one of your cards to replace themselves as much as possible. Like certain cards like this just can't. But also keep in mind that there are ways to mitigate cost resources as well, just by summoning Soul Flare and adding the card back, so that you have like a discard for Soldier or like a valid target for cost. It's insane. But yeah, summoning Lord, back to the thing at hand. Summoning Lord is really important because he pays for himself. He searches any Photon or Galaxy card in the entire archetype. He searches your whole deck. He gives you follow-ups. He gives you another interruption. Like for right now, this is a 2 interruption board with protection, and he can make it 3 just by searching out, Galaxy Eyes himself on your opponent's, turn. Whenever they activate something, you could just chain it, and then bam, get you a big boy. And now you have 3 interruptions, and you have protection. And then once you discard that to pop, you can just use him, and then bring that back. That's protected as well. And it's a really good board, Build a bear or build a board workshop. Now I'll show you guys another really cool one. I don't want to show smaller card combos because Build a Board Workshop, I never intended Build a Board Workshop to be like oh, let's show you guys a 1 and 2 card combo. That's what a combo tutorial is. Build a Board Workshop, I wanted it to be more than just it feels like a combo tutorial. I want it to be like, it feels like I'm literally walking you through my deck. Not just the combos, but what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it, and how much a card matters more than the other, and what steps matter more than other steps. You're not always going to get that in a combo tutorial. What you get in a combo tutorial is, okay, these cards make that. You know, but the builder boards, they're just a little bit deeper for me. So that's why you guys have been seeing me hand selecting which cards, because I'm trying to show you guys in these builder board workshops. Like I said, I'm trying to teach you guys the ins and outs, but also show you guys the maximum ceiling, the highest ceiling, the max potential in all these decks, you know? So that's why you're seeing big hands and big boards, you know, because I'm showing you guys what happens. And that wasn't an incredible hand. That was a weird hand, but that was a combo I made up. So now I'm going to show you guys, like, a traditional, you know, hand with the Galaxy Eye. So let's say these are just, like, really good starters, honestly. Like Thrasher and Vanisher are just, like, insane. Like, they really are. Like, they're just really good for so many reasons. But let's say, alright, so let me get the Dragon Shrine, and that's family, you guys, so y'all just gonna have to respect that. It's family here, you know. So we got what would be like a, no, this isn't a Galaxy card, even though it does enable. Let's just draw like nothing but Galaxy cards and show you guys like a hand like that. So let's do, you know what? I'm going to do another weird one, honestly. It's still going to be all Galaxy cards, but I'm just going to include Lizard because I just really need you guys to understand how good Lizard is. So I'm going to include Lizard on this one. And I think what I'm going to do here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so that. So I think the only thing, I think we're just changing one card for this one, with the lizards being, like, physically there. But what can Sanctuary be to make it just, like, insane, you know? Just, like, an insane, because I would know how to play it out. Like, honestly, I would know how to play it out. Sometimes I end up making a board that's not as good as what I originally intended, because, you know, sometimes you got to go with your first instinct, like your first thought, where it's like, okay, I make this board, but then you're like, oh no, this sounds better. And then stop there. Sounds better ain't always better. And that's the problem I have with this deck, where I'm like, nah, the board that sounds better is the one I always pick. And I'm like, dang, it wasn't better. So let's see. Yeah, we can do Nebula, because yeah, we'll just include Nebula. So like this is a good one too. So again, build a board workshop. Let's start it off. Special Art Thrasher, Special Art Vanisher. These cards are insane. The reason why I feel like these are like some of the best starters in the deck, even though this deck has a ton of starters, it really does have a lot of good cards. Like I said, it has a lot going for itself. It's because these open up 3 lines of play already, just by summoning this, right? So let's show you guys what I'm talking about. So we're gonna get out our Galaxy Eyes, right? So we got 4 cards in hand. We can easily go back. So no matter what, these 2 cards are gonna replace ourselves. We can go back to 5 right now, just by making Soul Flare, adding that back. That's the minimal, you know. So we can make Soul Flare. We can make I Sold. Link these 2 for I Sold. Search out Galaxy Knight if you think you're not going to. Or search out another Vanisher, you know, because you know you can't use them again anyways. Just for you to pay for them. So if you make I Sold, you go back up to 5 cards in hand too. And if you play Valid... Stop. Don't you start. Don't you start. And my baby's sleeping. So if I Sold, if you play Valid targets, you could generate even more advantage that way, you know. It just depends on what target. So I Sold is option number 2. Option number 3 is Blast. Now, the reason why I end up picking Blast more than often between these 3 is, even though it won't get me the same hand advantage, like, you know how these just easily put me back to 5 cards, and some people would just be greedy and be like, alright, I'm just going to do that, go back to 5 cards. I go for this because it actually can allow me to still make these later on down the line, just not right away. So I feel like this is just the best choice, and I'm sharing this with you guys because if you're ever caught in a position like me where you're playing this deck and you have these options, go for this one, because this is still always allows you to make this. And most of the time you can still make this, especially with like, for example, Galaxy Brave is still a warrior, you know, Photon Vanisher is still a warrior, you know what I mean? Like Galaxy Knight's still a warrior. There's still ways to get warriors on field where you can make this, and just because if you felt that it was that important. But we're going to go for Blast. King, relax. I fed you, just relax, okay? Hold on. So we're going to overlay these 2. Remember, Master Rule 5, so, or new revised Master Rule, so overlay those into Blast, Special Lizard. And then Tribute Lizard off. And then we're going to Tribute Lizard off for the Photon Orbital. Just keep in mind, like I told you guys, the background noise is my family. So, you know, if you guys can't respect it, I understand. But there's nothing that can be done about it. So you guys are kind of just, in a way, just tolerate it for right now if you can. If not, I understand. So we're gonna search for orbital. So we're gonna equip orbital to him. Stop. Okay, give me your bottle. So we're gonna equip orbital to photon blast. We're gonna sack off orbital. Use his effect. He searches. Remember, photon or galaxy monster. So he's really insane. Like he's probably the best searcher. Period. Like, cause he searches for, even if he wasn't your best searcher, the thing is he could search for your best searcher. So I just feel like he's the best searcher. So we're gonna grab Galaxy Soldier. Again, stuff in normal. So Galaxy Soldier is gonna discard Galaxy Eyes, special himself. You know, use his effect, and we'll grab Galaxy Knight. Let's do this here. Light or Dark Dragons. So I feel like Nebula Dragon just should have been another card, because now that I'm thinking about the board that I want to make, I don't want to use Nebula because I want to make like Felgrand after and not before. So I think that we can just make the Nebula like the Sanctuary and just do it like that. We can just do that. Nebula can still make, you know, other cards, because just keep in mind it's like a rest of the turn thing. So when you use Nebula, just keep in mind you're normally making like Hope Harbinger because it's a light dragon. But now that I was realizing, like, I kind of just want more options, so I'm just gonna cut that card for the Sanctuary originally and just do it like that. Let's go Sanctuary. You know, 2 tokens. Link them off. And the Soul Flare. Be quiet, okay? Please. Soul Flare, and we're gonna add back the Galaxy Eyes, right? Or no, let's not add back Galaxy Eyes. Let's add back the Orbital. Because that actually can help us. Let's go Expedition. For Soldier, right? And let's go ahead and equip Orbital to Blast, so that Blast has more than 2,000 attack. So now your entire board can't be targeted or destroyed by anything, period, until you get rid of Orbital, and then get rid of him, and then you can target the rest. So you have a lot of work to do before you can actually get to work, if that makes sense. But before you can even get to work on breaking my board, you gotta finish these little... And this is gonna get on people's nerves because these aren't really that threatening and they're not that impressive, but they require attention. They require attention, and that's what makes them good. So normal, you know, special him. Make Lord. Very similar board to the last one, except it's protected in its entirety. And on top of this, this is better than the last board, not only because the entire board is protected, but because your follow-ups and contingencies are stronger. This is a follow-up, this is a follow-up, this can be a follow-up because you can make another one, and this is a follow-up. So you already have 4 cards that are coming back to your hand in circulation. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. You're going to get 1 into field, then you're going to draw for turn. So you're going to get 5 cards, and those are all resources that you can use. So this board is like easily replaceable. You can't make the exact same boss monsters. These can be made again because they're recyclable, but this board can easily be just, it's like a board that sets you up for the next turn as well. So I like it that it's powerful, it's threatening, it's not overbearing to it's like 20,000 negates, but also it's sturdy enough to where even if it gets broken, it provides the resources to replace itself. So I like that. So let's do another one. King, we gonna box, okay? Alright, so this one, I'm gonna show you guys something kind of traditional, I guess, somewhat. This is kind of like a traditional combo or hand. So let's include him instead because he's always nice. So Dragon Shrine, there we go. This is gonna be a good one to watch. So we're gonna go. Let's go. Actually, we don't even need the Dragon Shrine. Now I was thinking about it, we can just do Brave. He's a good extender too. Dragon Shrine would be insane, but I was just thinking about that's just doing too much. Because then it would, again, with the restrictions and the choices, this deck can always make crazy boards, but sometimes you're caught in a decision where you're like, do I activate this card and put myself under the restriction of only this, that, or the third, or do I hold this card in my hand for next turn and make a generic board with, you know, no restrictions, like make Dweller, you know what I mean? You can't make this under Sanctuary. So I hope this isn't going over your head, what I'm saying to you guys, because I'm saying it for a reason. But some of the 2 tokens, right? And then we're going to go ahead and special Vanisher while we control both those tokens because they're both Photon monsters. Vanisher is going to search Big Daddy. And I feel like no matter what you guys do, just keep in mind this card should always be on your board. even though it's not a negate, you have to just remember how important this card is. Protecting your negations sometimes is better than having an extra negation, if that makes sense. Because sometimes you'll have a negate that's being used to protect the other negate. Prime example, let's say you have a monster negate and you have a spell or trap negate and like another monster negate. Sometimes you have to use your monster negate to protect your spell or trap negator, if that makes sense. If not, whatever, you know. But I'm trying my best to explain everything to you guys. But that's why this card is super important, and I kind of tried my hardest to make it every single time. So I think what I'm going to do here before summoning him and searching is what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal Vanisher to summon Brave, because he can be a level 4, which is insane, you know. Which is really, really nice, actually. And then I'm going to special him and then grab that. So it just shows, this could have been Thrasher too, but it just shows you guys how many different times you can make the same board. That's the embodiment of consistency, in my opinion, when you're making the same board over and over and over, you know, just repetitiously, and I mean repetitiously, and with different cards too. It's not like, oh, every time you open Salmon Grave Circle, you're gonna, no, you can open not the same exact cards and still make the same exact board, you know, like how this could have been Thrasher, just, you know what I mean? So let's do that, and the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna discard Special Galaxy Soldier. If we were playing around Nibiru, we would do things in different order, but this is just Build-A-Board Workshop. It's all for fun, so we don't need no Dark Ruler no more. Would like to know your location or anything, you know, ignorant like that. Like, people know cards exist. We know Nibiru is real. You don't have to remind us that it's real, because we know that it's real. Everybody does. So, Galaxy Eyes. Oh, yeah, and then we don't search Soldier. We search Knight. That's my bad. We search Knight, always. Smooth criminal, smooth. I got like so let's do this. I don't like that Soul Flare is not gonna really be able to replace itself, but I don't want to force anything to go to the graveyard intentionally just so Soul Flare can get advantage. So I'm just gonna make him because he's an interruption. I'm not going to add this from grave to hand because this needs to be a grave for Night. But now that I've opened zones for myself, I can kind of just, I mean, not open zones, but like main deck space, main zone space, not like link zones. I can kind of summon more. So let's go with Blast. If you had a valid target, Blast would, you know, just triggers effect. He's an extender by nature, so that's why it's just, sometimes you just have to summon him. Like, so I really love this card. I think that he is definitely a lot better than Pen and Paper, and he's high-key slept on, and he definitely deserves more credit. Isn't this funny? This is the embodiment of consistency, because, like, these are different cards, too, and it's still, like, making the same board. That's why I was trying to show you guys and tell you guys, you know? I was just literally reiterating that, like, how different cards still make the same board. Look. And this is, like, I feel like this should just be, like, full combo. We should just look at that board like full combo. Like, with excluding Infinity, right? I feel like any hand that can make Soul Flare and Lord is already, like, standard. But if you can go Blast, Soul Flare, and Lord, that's full combo for me. Because that's, like, a perfect board. It's expeditious, you know, it's really easy to make, really easy to manage, really easy to maintain as well, and replace. But also, at the same time, it's matchup identifiable, and it's pseudo-generic because these can be good against practically every deck. You know, I understand if you're playing Ultra Guys, this probably won't do you much justice, but also keep in mind that the protection will still make it relevant, where you're not getting compulsed, you're not getting cracked down, you know, they're not activating Lost Wind. They can Solemn Strike, but guess what? They still can't be destroyed by card effects. You catching my drift? So that's why I feel like this board is good against everything, you know? Especially if this has an Orbital, or you have a Hippo Shinjin on the field plus an Orbital, it just gets better. But Infinity being there is just like icing on the cake, so we'll do another one. I'll show you guys, I want to show you guys different boards. Like, these hands can, truly they can make different boards. I promise you they can. I'm just making the board that I like to make. Like, for example, you know, we weren't under the only summoning Galaxy monsters restriction, you know what I mean? So, like, we weren't under a Galaxy Trance restriction. So we could summon Felgrand. We could have summoned, you know what I mean, Titanic Galaxy. It depends. Even the Galaxy Soldier itself could have been a completely different card, you know what I mean? And also, we could have expeditioned for a level 8 instead of another Galaxy Soldier, and that level 8 could have been a whole nother rank 8 play, because think about it, like, all the cards I was, even when I went for, like, for example, Blast, I could have held Brave and then turned him into a level 8 instead and made a secondary rank 8, so I could have had, like, Titanic, Lord, you know what I mean? Like, what I'm trying to say is, even though you guys are seeing me making the same board over and over for this builder board, I have the choice to make different cards. I'm just showing you guys my preference, and I really want you guys to get it, drill it in your head that that board right there is really, really important. It's lucrative. It replaces itself, like I said, and it's just matchup identifiable. I think it's just really, really good. So yeah. I think what I'm gonna do next is actually some quick little test hands. Well, I want to show you guys Nebula Dragon combos and stuff, but like you kind of already. Nebula Dragon just specials the dragon from hand, and I don't have Safer Dragon, so I can't really capitalize on everything that I want. You know, the max advantage you can get out of this card, but still. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna do a test hand, 2 test hands actually. Yeah, I didn't realize we're 25 minutes in. That's crazy. So I'm gonna do 1 test hand and end the video like that. So we got Trance, Trade-In, Zero, Brave, and Photon Orbital. Weird hands, but it's weird that this hand is weird and that it still can play through hand traps. Because like if this gets ashed, right? Let's say we trade in Brave and it gets ashed. We can then activate Galaxy Zero, targeting him, equip Orbital, and they can't ash a second time. They can't. So this is gonna go through. And they can draw in Resolution, but no matter what, something's going to go through. So this is a really, really funky hand. Funky being like weird, nasty, I don't like it, but it's going to work out. So we grabbed the Lizard, we grabbed an Orbital.
Right here, show. Don't touch.
The next thing that I want to do is go ahead and, yeah, let's zero it up. I don't want to use my normal summon yet if I don't have to, so let's go zero on Brave.
Well, mommy's phone, my phone's punched.
Equip Orbital, and then sack off Orbital.
Stuff to do.
For okay, I think we can no, we have Trance in our hand. I can't do that. If I go for Soldier, no, we can go for Soldier just for searching. So we're gonna go for Soldier. Yeah, so we go for Soldier. Normal Lizard for turn. Tribute Lizard off. Add special. Get the Big Daddy.
Coming.
And we haven't used Galaxy Soldier yet, so we're gonna link these 2 off for Soul Flare. You know, it's funny, we could have made Isolde as well, and since we already normal summoned, we might as well. Actually, let's do that. And we haven't made Isolde yet. I still haven't put the equips because I just don't have the balls to do it. But if you guys have the balls to put the equips in here and play those bricks, yours are bigger than mine, homie. Do it. But I'm too scared. I'm just playing her just for mitigation. Resource mitigation, if that makes sense. There's a lot of costs involved with this deck. A lot of discard. A lot of just... Some cards just don't replace themselves. So I just like to force the cards to replace themselves. Like how this replaced itself, but this couldn't. I made it to where both these replace themselves by converting them both into her. So since we already normal summoned, we know for a fact that we cannot use Galaxy Knight because we can't normal summon again this turn. So we'll search our follow-up being Galaxy Knight. If we had a level 1 warrior, I was thinking about playing a level 1, we could just dump, you know, for example, Galaxy Zero and make a play like that. But I'd still have to play more links for me to capitalize off that, and I don't want to play more links. So when the new Ignoble Knight card comes out, then this is going to be like Needle Fiber, Union Carrier, just good stuff. You know what? I got greedy. You are supposed to make Soul Flare. My bad. And I explained all that for you guys, but you guys caught the drift. So I'd say make Soul Flare. Yeah, because I just caught what I was trying to do. So Soul Flare is going to target... An Orbital can be equipped more than once. That's what's crazy. You can only search off Orbital once, but you can equip him more than once. Let's do this. Did I reveal to summon Galaxy Brave? No, I didn't. I traded him in. So let's get Galaxy Brave because we can actually use him. So let's go Galaxy Brave, reveal Galaxy Eyes, special. Is there a Galaxy to target? Nope, so he's not going to get any attack. That's fine. Discard Galaxy Eyes for Galaxy Soldier. That's what I should have done. I should have done the Galaxy Soldier first, and then basically just left Vanisher on the field. So did the Galaxy Soldier and then to make the Soul Flare. Like, I really should have done that. But it is what it is. Soldier is going to go ahead and search out. What extender, like, hasn't been used yet? Oh yeah, we can do that. We can go for Galaxy Eyes for Interruption, so that Lord can search something different. I mean, there is options, but it's just like based on what I'm trying to do, you know? So I think I'm going to stick with that one, actually. And I'm going to also attribute these two to Special Galaxy Eyes. Yeah, because this hand was kind of weird, so I'm going to make it work. Alright. Activate Trance, target Galaxy Eyes. God forbid somebody tries to tell me that you can't summon Hope Harbinger under trance. I'm not even going to address that one. Summon Galaxy Knight. And then we're going to overlay these two into Hope Harbinger Titanic Galaxy. So Galaxy's already going to protect them from battle, but because this was a weird hand and we had to sacrifice cards just to optimize the board, we have to make sacrifices. We're going to commit our final card in hand to make sure that this board is a little bit more secure, because this board getting broken is going to be a lot more detrimental than the other boards because there's less cards that can mitigate costs, replace themselves, and give you follow-ups and contingencies for your next turn. This is one follow-up, this is another. But this staying in hand, I feel, is less valuable because just being able to further protect this, just it's staying on the field, I would appreciate that more than it leaving the field. So I think that's going to conclude the video. Even though that was a weird hand, it still made a really decent board. And you guys saw how it was playing out, and it just kind of, you know, we did what we could with what we had. It wasn't the best hand, but it just shows that even the weird, not even great hands can still make some actually above average boards, because that was a really decent board. Not only because it had two interactions, but it had protection and follow-ups, and it wasn't easy to break. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I appreciate you guys for supporting my channel. God bless you guys. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. Y'all be safe and definitely make better choices than your boy. Peace out.